All right, guys, I'm going to show you here our main, I should say, main and favorite way of finding private label products lately. And this is how we found the products for DoorByDesign.com, the jewelry store that we've referred to in the PDF, and other public places as well. Now, I should say before we get started here, there's no precise specific way that you can find private label products. All that matters is you find products that pass those three factors that we just discussed in the PDF. You can clear at least $20 between what you pay for the product and what you can sell the product for. The product has serious wow factor, stops somebody in their tracks and makes them need to look at it, kind of thing. That's wow factor. And then number three is it either feeds something somebody's extremely passionate about, or it is a hack. It's a time saver. It solves some sort of problem. And when you find a product that passes all three of those things, that checks all three of those factors, you potentially have a winner, and you really won't know until you get into Facebook ad tests, which we're going to talk about later in the PDF. So one last thing before we jump in here, I should also specify that we do have a pro membership level, which kind of covers everything from running your ad tests through scaling and hiring employees or virtual assistants, and kind of getting things on autopilot, and also covers like getting top dollar for your store if you ever decide to sell it. If you go pro, we do, inside of module 1 of the Pro Academy training, we do have a few other methods that we show for finding private label products. And those include print on demand products and supplements and essential oils and using actual plants in the US and other places. But like I said, SellTheTrend and AliExpress is kind of our go-to. It's kind of our main place where we start when we're looking for a new product to private label. And the reason for that is because, I mean, you may have heard good or bad things about AliExpress. In my opinion, AliExpress is not a full-time dropship supplier. That's not how we use them, because shipping takes a long time from China, and the products usually aren't great until you make some improvements to them. So if you've heard horror stories about AliExpress, or you've used AliExpress as a drop shipper and it was terrible, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But don't throw the entire site into the trash, because really all AliExpress is a place for virtually every factory in Asia to list their products and sell products one by one to customers, mainly in Europe and the United States, but all over the world. So since every factory in Asia basically is on AliExpress, it's a great place for us to look for products and look for good factories. And once we find something that's a potential winner, we make improvements to it and we put our branding on it and we bring it in-house. And that's how our jewelry store is doing almost $160,000 a month in revenue, is this exact technique. But this is where it started. Okay. So when you get your free SellTheTrend account, I gave you a link right above this video. This is what the dashboard will look like, which is where you are when you sign in. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the Nexus and then all products here on the left sidebar. And this is what this should look like to you. Now, keep in mind there's millions of products on here. Basically, anything that SellTheTrend finds on a Shopify store or at AliExpress gets pulled into here, and data gets pulled into here, and that's why it's so powerful. What we're going to use this for is to find products that are really new, like products that were found inside of the last month and already have a lot of sales, but they haven't been around so long that they've probably fizzled out or topped off. And that's kind of our main approach here. One thing to note before we get started with the product research here is once you do find a product and you've settled into a specific category or niche topic, you can actually use the search function up here to only look for example, products inside of the cat market. If your first product that you found was a winner and you end up doing a little store to sell that specific type of product, you can use the search functionality when you're looking for additional things, products to test to find other winners inside of that same store category. You can use the search functionality. But back to the start here. This is what it looks like when you go to the all products section on the Nexus Explorer. And we're going to use a few of these filters here. So I'll zoom in on this section. What we're going to do is go price over 20, because if we want to clear 20, obviously the product price has to be above 20. And usually I say price under 80, but that filter is not real vital. Then we go orders over 250. We want there to be at least 250 tracked orders for this item, but we don't want there to be more than 5,000 tracked orders so far, because like I said, we want it to be relatively new, right? And then by date found, we're going to do 1 month, because we want products that have just been found in the last month and we know that they're new and up and coming. And I think that's all we have to worry about here. Let's see. Yeah, I believe that's all the filters that I typically use. As far as sort goes, we'll use this on some other explorers. If you go pro and you're looking at other brainstorming methods in our academy training, we use some of these. We'll filter by other stuff in other explorers here within SellTheTrend. But when we're inside the Nexus, we let it sort by the Nexus rank, which is highest Nexus rank and down. Okay, so now we have good results. What we're going to do is, as we cruise down through here, we are going to look for products that have wow factor. Like I said, if you were interested in this topic, or if you were in this occupation, whatever it might be, would this stop you in your tracks if you're on Facebook or Instagram and make you need to look at it? So that's the first factor that we are considering as we look through products here. And we're just looking for things that truly grab our attention and pull us in, which this product kind of does. Ozone air purifier, with all the concerns about germs since COVID and all that. An air purifier might have some wow factor if you're worried about getting sick, you're worried about your air quality, that type of thing. But all we're doing is just cruising through, looking at the images, because basically right now we are trying to put ourselves in the shoes of somebody on Facebook or Instagram, because that's where we're going to primarily advertise when we do our tests, obviously, to make sure we have a winner. We're putting ourselves in their shoes, and does this image draw us in? Does it pull us in to look at it closer? Let's see. That's in another language, which is a little bit confusing. Blackhead remover. It's a bit of wow factor there. This looks like a root ball or something. I don't know. Headphones. I'd avoid things that major players already kind of control, like Apple and Beats kind of has that pretty well monopolized. Hair extensions, it looks like a trimmer, not real wow. Folding stools. That's kind of interesting. Nothing's really pulling me in. That's kind of cool. Mobile phone bracket bicycle lamp. So it's for a bike, it holds your phone, but it also appears to have a light on it. So that's potentially cool. That might make my list. So yeah, that might be something there. I could see selling it for 30 plus. I would expect it to cost under 10. Yeah, you can see right here the second line here says product cost is $562. We might have to pay some shipping on top of that, but it's presumable that we could make 20 plus. If you were an active cyclist, I think it would very likely grab your attention. So that's something that could make it onto our list. Now, what we're doing here is just putting any product that we think might be a winner, and we're trying to come up with at least 3, 4, 5 right now, and we're going to put them into that spreadsheet that I provided a download link for. And then upcoming later on in the PDF, we're basically just going to try to narrow it down to one to test right now. So that could potentially go on that product ideas sheet. Let's see. That's kind of cool. I don't know about selling it for, well, people are supposedly selling it for $27 and the product cost is $3. It looks like it's a dog like pooper scooper for people on walks or at the park or whatever, which is kind of slick. Because right now I have 2 small dogs and I walk them and I have to carry a bag in my pocket, which is kind of a pain. So that's kind of a cool concept. It looks like it even has like a little metal, keychain bracket, so you could actually put it on your keys or maybe put it on like a belt loop or something. So that's potentially cool and you could target dog owners. So any of these ideas can go on the list, and we could potentially have a winner just from 5 or 10 minutes of searching here. Put 4 or 5 items on your list, and then we will take it from there.